Mwadzuka bwanji Malawi lero tu pa 15 Juni 2026. Apa tabwera ndi exclusive interview imene kumbukani phiri amacheza ndi Mr. Kamlepo Kaluwa amene ndi mkulu amanasankhidwa ndi president mkulu wa Umodzi Holdings. Iye yetu Kamlepo Kaluwa amene ndi bambo wake wa MP Benjamin Kaluwa amene iwo wafotokoza zambiri za ndale zimene moyo wake wakhalira mmene anayambira ndale kufika pano. Kodi akuti zikukhala bwanji anadutsa muzotani nanga amafuna kuphedwa kangati. Pali nkhani zambiri zimene waulula ngakhala DPP nawo adabwa kuti kumazona izizi mpaka iyeyi kukamba dizi tatendeverera limodzi tione kuti nkhani imeneyi waichotsa pati kodi akunena zona chifukwa tikudziwa kuti mkulu amene wakhala kukumana ndi nyengo zosiyanasiyana koma DPP amva zimenezi. Kodi akuti bwanji? Tapangani like, tapangani subscribe.
Life in politics.
Quite enriching. Anyway, it is enriching. In the same time, it is different from what you may actually come up or think about it. Ineyo ninayamba ndale ndili kamwana kwambiri. And anthu amene achita nawo ndale ndi china Banda Chakwamba, china Leke Banda, Johnny Tembo, Dr. Banda, and others. I could sometimes be with John Tembo, kunyumba, planning about what MCP is all about. Like for instance, 1996, John Tembo atamangidwa, Dr. Banda called me, kuti ndikathandizire MCP kukasia, kunachaka Karchazia had defected to UDF from MCP. So I come to Area 43, Dr. Banda provided me services and accommodation in Area 43. Tinapita kumene kuja kuthandiza MCP mpaka inawina Gumbane anawina by elections ya 1996. Tabwera sapo nandi Gwanda Chakwamba napita kwa Makanjira ndi Leti Masauli Leti Gwanda Chakwamba kunaiso by elections tinapita kwa Makanjira timafuna kumenyedwa atu koma zonse zija tinapanga marare though we lost kuja koma at least is how I worked with those people. Then tinandi Leke Banda tinali Mgwirizano coalition. Mgwirizano coalition Banda was running mate to Gwanda Chakwamba was the chairman. Sometimes the Leke Banda tinayamba nako mbuyoko pero koma anabwera ndi Mganda Chume kunyumba kuti let us reconcile. We reconciled and I started working with him. We worked together nicely. Ndeno ndabweranso ndi Gwanda Chakwamba tinali always together. Even in his book he has appreciated me kuti if there was a best friend that he had in Dineo. And when I went to Parliament, because I didn't want him to have that name. So that's how we were. Going back to prior to that, and how we January ku Channel Africa. Nina piro Norway, ndishaire kondowe. Tapiro Norway anatipasa drama, 1992. Anatipasa drama zija, tinaitanisa msonkhano ku Zambia. Tinaitana ngandi Edward Banali, Chakakala, Harry Thompson, they are all late and kutabwere kumusonkhana and Chakufa Chihana. Wose wanakana. The one that came was Chakufa Chihana. Tini Mzambia, kuna zapezeka kuti Chakufa Chihana told us kuti antu amani chita follow. Then I had to fly to South Africa. So I went to South Africa, then tina gulaso ya ticket kuti Chihana tipeza South Africa. Koma kuna pressure. Young man kamuntu kosamva ngataka kamwana koma kosamva kaya kana bado bwanyi mutu ouma ukaya. Then mpaka tinakangana ndi Dr. Banda paka we changed the multi-party democracy to what we are. But history has twisted events. Then we came to the constitutional making board conferences. I was one of the people that was in that the technical committee of how to frame up the constitution and the like. Now mujam narusuka mwana kamakani wasati masewera nadu muno mukale proportional representation mukale constitutional court tinakangana ndi Modikai. I think Modikai should be listening to this interview. Tinakangana ndi Modikai Mshisha and Linda Choka who visited us that time in Ndugutu kukale constitutional court. Modikai would no, Malawi cannot accommodate constitutional court. It's a small country. I said no, because all grievances of the constitution must be directed to the constitutional court, but not interpretation by an ordinary judge, because there will be technical issues of the Constitution, we need a judge trained for interpretation of the Constitution to come up and interpret it in a way that the Constitution is tailored to be. Hey, inalindeo. And Age Kanyongoro, by then he was at Chancellor College. By then he was not a doctor, he had just masters. He came there, he said, he was just nodding like that. And I want Age Kanyongoro also to be listening to this. He was just nodding like this. Luchita makani menemuji. And together with them, sometimes I was bulldozing them to meet my expectations. And Namangido Kambiri, I have survived 38 assassination attempts. And in Namangido, I don't know how many times. Then, Bakiri Mluz, when he was out of power, we were together. Marare Zambiri, I was with Bakiri. What a father that was. I mean, inaneso ndikatika basa undipasa ndikatika chani ndikati akuli ndikufuna kuti kunyumba tu kulibe uche mpezo yeah Peter. So he became a very good friend of mine, and we became more like a father and a son. Akakama kani kakang'ono aka komaso nkuru kuvera soka mwana aka. Then there came Bingo. Bingo with me were very close. We were very close. During the 1999 general elections, we would sit down, plan together, or most of these things as he was discussing. Because he had a vision, only that some of the things that he wanted to do, but he had a lot for Malawi. He was planning for the Comesa Bank should come here, and the bank for trade and export, whatever. He was saying that we have to come up with a big bank here, a center. I tell you, the buildings that he had, he showed me. If they were constructed here in Lilongwe, today we'll be talking about, oh, this was indeed the Bingo. But then Peter, he took me, he's the first president ever in the history of this country that he took me as a cabinet minister, that made me a cabinet minister. I was a minister of lands. That was Peter. Since that time, I never stopped supporting him because he's the only one that appointed me to cabinet, that I served as a cabinet minister, minister of lands. Up to date, if there's a person wa makani, wosa jamanina zao zijanina wa makani, mafuna kumenyedwa wanatu sumunimenya, ndi wankuru wanu nosenu, sumunga nimenye by supporting Peter. And today, the very same Peter has made me to be chief executive of this beautiful place, international standard conference centers, presidential villa, controlling, and the billions I'm controlling here. It's not something that I can take it lightly. So my special tributes and thanks should go to Peter for appointing me as chief executive of this beautiful place.
Honorable Kaluwa, it would be very interesting to read your personal memoir. Do you have a book? Are you publishing?
I will have to do one. I'll have to make one, and I'm going to have to do it. I need somebody that would be following my logic and my philosophy, not just writing a book for the sake of writing, even if you don't understand it. The book that I'm going to write, I should be able to understand, interpret, and explain to people why I've come up with chapter 1, why it is relevant with chapter 10, why in between and chapters are talking about what I feel should be there in the chapters, than simply just muntu walemba buku koma sa kulimvesa yeyo. No, I have to do it alone. I have to seek advice from professionals and the like, and come up with a book that if you read, you should not stop reading it, and you should say, oh, so this is what Kamlepo Kaluwa was all about. So that is what I'm going to do.
38 assassination attempts. How do you think you survived?
I would say the fate is determined by a certain power, intelligent power out there. And in the church, you are told that mukapurumuka kumamba. And people are even singing a song, kulikuwa tusipa ziko. If you tusipa ziko, why are you here? So what I'm trying to say here is the fate of God determined my life. I can share with you the same aspirin that I'm suffering from headache and the like, but you find that I can die out of that and you still live out of that. Why? The fate is determined by that intelligent power, and that intelligent power is God. No, nobody should cheat you. Nobody should lie to you. Nobody has seen God. Come others exaggerate even in church. You woke up, you was because you are going to be saved by His grace. Amene mkumona kuti uyuyu akoza kumwalira mpeza kuti ujalipo wino wangogwa pi wamwalira koma nali bwino God. I survived because of God in heaven.
So
He's always protecting.
So you have a strong belief for God?
Let me tell more than what you think.
Tell me about it.
I don't want to surprise you.
Please go ahead and surprise
No,
me.
I don't want to surprise you because all of you'll be surprised.
Okay.
Sometimes I see things that I've never seen elsewhere. They just come. And I'm not a prophet, mind you. But if I tell you something, that tomorrow this is going to happen, it's going to happen. And who else could do that? That means there must be somebody that is directing me to do that. And who is this one? The Creator.
Now, Honorable Kaluwa, I know at some point you contested for presidency, not
Yes.
once.
Yeah, twice.
So has that desire vanished? Or you still think or desire to be president of this country?
Tomorrow is not mine. Today, I don't. But tomorrow, I cannot rule out tomorrow. But I think I have outgrown that ambition. Because once you are a chief executive, you don't need again to go to that dirty world. Because I have lived my years, and I appreciate my years. It's time that I should retire. It's time that I should be, maybe my destination was start with politics, then retire with the corporate world, then go grace-free home. You get what I'm trying to say. So I might tell you that I want to become a president. Mulungu akuvasa kuti ukhale president. Because this is determined by God. People ruled out about Peter. He cannot be the president. Some will say, but today he's a president. Not because he wanted it to be, but because God had already planned that. So what I'm trying to say here is, I am retiring from politics, and I have retired. I'm now in the corporate world. But if God will say, who are you to say no to me? Then who am I? But believe you me, I want to retire.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And maybe become a prophet because you've said a lot
of
prophetic things?
No. I don't want to become a prophet because I'll be limited in thinking. I'll make you my subject when you're not my subject. You get what I'm trying? Sometimes these characters exaggerate things. I don't want that. I want to serve God in a true manner, in a true sense of serving the Lord God Almighty, the living one, the first and the last. I don't want to punish you, to tell you, to threaten you, that if you don't listen to, you, especially ladies, you sometimes exaggerate your loyalty to these prophets. But I don't blame you, because this is how the world is all about. But what I can tell you here is that God is for all of us. His love is an ending one, unconditional love. And believe in me, he loves you the way he loves that one, the way he loves that one.
You're watching NBC Exclusive. Our guest this week is Honorable Kamlepo Kaluwa, Chief Executive Officer of Umodzi Holdings. We'll be back shortly after this break. Honorable Kaluwa, chipani cha MDP chilipo kapena munasira mwana kapena chinata?
Chipani chija ineyo nthawi imene ndimakalowa ku PP amayi ananena kuti kuti ubwere ngati MDP anthu ena sakondwa chifukwa amayesa ngati kuti kapena you were just playing. Then mafuna kuti ulowe ngati PP. Nde ndinasira leti Lisa Upata, the late Milanzi, Lyson Milanzi. and the Unandi Banda. So Unandi Banda anali ku NGOs, so he could not manage, but he was operating from behind. Even certificate of registration is still with Unandi Banda. And kuna zapezeka kuti Unandi Banda ali mu NGO society. Then late Ndizoopsa died, and the late Milanzi also died. But there were some people like Kazikabanda is still there. And these people, because of the panali, more like the alignment, pakati pajaputi, you have to have head office, you have to have what offices. So Unandi Banda was in the NGO. Kazikabanda was jobless. Linnea was in PP, I left MDP. So in the course of these sad development, kunazapezeka kuti nobody was actually sort of organizing offices and the like to have that party sustained. They zapezeka kuti that party had gone into more like silence, and the Unandi Banda was also growing up, and the Kazikabanda was also growing up, and some few other people that were there, they could not actually come up with offices. So then they said, do we have to register? Do deregister? They said no. They kept the party, but because of the new laws that are saying if the party is not contesting this and that, automatically we deregister that party. So I don't know how far they are, but I'm yet to find out from them. But it's not with my children, not with my child. I don't believe in the politics of you start the party, then you give it. That's not an estate for you to be eating from, but it should be for the national service to the people, and you should serve the people diligently and effectively and sufficiently, and that is what I believe in. So that story of whether the party is still there, I may not be in a position to tell you exactly what is happening with it.
Now, Honorable Kamlepo Kaluwa, there have been assumptions out there that could this possibly be the end of your political career?
Subjective. What is a political career? What is it that people are talking about political career? We don't have a political career, but we have is national service, serving the people, doing what people are looking for, being responsive to people's needs. And that can be served in so many areas of our lives. Part of it could be where I am. If I had an idea about saving my people out of the national service, what they called me for in a certain constituency, I can also do that at a national level. And the politics is about, so many activities and phases in our lives. One could be that I am now getting into the corporate world, and mind you, my son is getting where I was. So I have to create that space that I cannot be together with my son in parliament. And what is it that I want to do more than what I've done already? So I create a space for my son to demonstrate that indeed is a son of a lion. The lion must be identified in my offsprings, that indeed I create that space. So when I am in this corporate world, it may not be the end, because the advice to my son will still be there. But for me to go back there to be something that I don't even support, because I'm phasing out, leaving the space to my son, and who knows, maybe to my grandsons and daughters that are coming. So if you want to still be there, I think this is what we should always be taking stock of it. So it is not the end of my career or in politics, but it may be a phase, very interesting phase, that now from politics I go to corporate world, because politics is the engine, like I said, of whatever that you see.
And finally, do you miss being in politics, or is there anything in particular that you miss about being a politician?
Nothing, because I've done all what I wanted to do. What I did not achieve was to become a president of the country. which I contested 1994, I contested 1999, but I don't regret, because that gave me an experience, that gave me the future that I am today. I don't miss anything. What I can do is I've saved the people, and I've managed in a little manner, in a little way, contributed. I've contributed, I've done all what I wanted to do, responsive to people's needs, and my constituency was well served. I lost. I should congratulate the one that won, genuinely, without any reservation, because that is how politics is. Mulero mulipo, mawa palibe. Those who are coming after you, they should also feel it, that they are secure, they have got a security. I support the present Member of Parliament for Rumpist. I'll support her. If she needs my help, I'll help her, because that is how it should be.
Honorable Kamlepo Kaluwa.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time in the program.
Most welcome.
And that's how we conclude this edition of NBC Exclusive. Our guest this week was Honorable Kamlepo Kaluwa, Chief Executive Officer of Umodzi Holdings. This program was brought to you from President Hotel. From me, Kumbukani Piri, and the rest of the team, it's thanks for watching and goodbye.